The biggest luxury in any workshop is bench space.
I was spraying blood.
Big hammer. Everyone needs a big hammer.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Karting Couch. This is simply three dudes in go-karting involved in three different capacities, just sitting down and having a chat. Let's get straight into it.
Oh yeah, what are we drinking today?
Backed by popular demand from Harry, we've got another gingerbread sippy cup.
It is very, very delicious.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yep.
That's amazing. All right.
So good.
So last episode we talked a lot about like overrated products in karting. I thought so this episode we should talk about underrated products in karting. I think for the people who especially might be new to karting, you know, they might not be sure or may not be aware of all the different things that, you know, exist that could help them when they're out on a race weekend. So what do you reckon?
Even beyond that, like there's a lot of things that people that have been in the sport for a while probably overlook or try and reinvent the wheel and things like that. But if you stick to your basics, there's a lot of stuff that people overlook that's underrated, I reckon. So it kind of goes both ways, both newbies and the more experienced guys.
My underrated tool of choice is a spring puller.
What's that?
So when you get your springs off the back of the motor,
So just thinking about it, you may not need it in a full stroke now. I think about it.
true.
You don't have an exhaust to pull off.
Nah. Yeah, so that's
just
why
bolts.
it is.
two bolts
Yeah.
on the back of your exhaust to get the Turini exhaust off.
Yeah.
For a two-stroke, its exhaust is held on by two springs that are really
Like high tension.
tight springs.
Yeah.
The little spring puller is just a hook with a handle.
Right.
Makes life easier. We need to get things off quickly for scrutineering.
Yep.
And it's just a simple $7 tool.
Okay.
Super convenient.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it one of those things where without that tool, it's just an absolute bitch? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get the long nose
okay.
pliers out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
me and-
smack your hands.
Me and Dad spent my whole karting career, like 10 years, using pliers to take those springs off. And every single time it accidentally slips off and goes flying, or like you can't get it at the right angle and you get the spring stuck on the hook, and it's just a massive pain
Dad's
in the
yelling
butt.
at you.
Yeah, 100%. So it's my fault, even though he's the one doing it. So, a cheap little T-bar with a hook on the end of it, just to pull that spring off, makes such a big difference. And it's the cheapest tool you're ever going to buy once, because like they're pretty indestructible.
Yep.
I've got one. Another one.
Yeah.
A good marquee.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually.
So one that will last you 10 years, not one that you'll be back in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
So you spend,
I've
what?
got the good old Kings.
The
or-
Kings.
Vintage Kings.
I mean, it's doing good so far.
It's doing good until you go to Warrnambool or Portland in the middle of winter when you got 85 kilometre per hour winds at night. And you're in the hotel thinking, is this going to stand in the morning?
Or you don't trust it, so you pack it down overnight, and then you got an extra half hour pack up that night, and an extra half hour set up in the morning that you didn't need to do. Even the cheap ones, if you look after them, they last okay, but there's a big difference in what you pay for between a $250 one and a $1,000 one. Like, it really does pay for itself, because you're never really going to have to replace it.
Yeah.
The more expensive ones, like the Altegras, you can just buy the spare parts for. So if you know, the pin breaks or something like that, you just buy a new kit for it. It's like $40 to get it fixed, rather than spending another $250 on it.
We actually keep a box of spares from Altegra, and we just take it to the track. Like last weekend, for instance, we put up 6 marquees. A couple of them had a few little dings here and there, because we are, I guess, how often we're using them every weekend. They're going up and down in and out of trucks and things like that. You know, had the little scratches here and there. So we had enough parts on us for the marquee. Good as new. They'll be right for next year.
Yeah, 100%.
I've just thought of another one. It might sound obvious to people in karting, but a trestle table. Like, literally, that's underrated as. Like, if you don't have it, imagine how much harder it is. Because it's like actually such a handy thing.
Yeah.
But
People don't bring them to practice, and I don't know why. I don't bring them to practice, and I don't know why. You get to race day and you wouldn't not have one.
Yeah. I was honestly, I said this on the weekend to my dad. I was working at his place, just working on my ute, and I was like, the biggest luxury in any workshop is bench space. So just bringing 2 or 3 tables, even if it feels like overkill, it's going to be the biggest lifesaver. I remember I learned this from you. You had a clean one that was just race gear and food and drinks and stuff like that. Then you got the dirty one, which is your tools and all your greasy stuff. It honestly makes life so much more stress-free on a race weekend if you got like organized workspace. You see the guys that have got like tools in a bucket and stuff on the floor and stuff in the seat, and it's just chaos.
We brought them at Phillip Island. Do you remember?
Yeah.
For our race gear.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one less thing you had to think about because there's no shit on the ground.
Yeah, if you've got an expensive helmet, you don't want to be putting it on the ground or making sure people don't kick it or having to walk to the car to put it away somewhere safe when you can just have a table right there ready to go. Another underrated product that people try and get by without is the bead wax when you're changing your tyres. The amount of people that are at the racetrack trying to pop tyres onto the bead with the air compressor, and they get into 100 psi because the bead on the rim is just sticking.
Yeah.
This like 500 ml tub of wax, it's like $15 and it'll last you years because you're only using a bit at a time. Just makes your life so much easier and safer, to be honest with you.
People try and use detergent at home with a little spray bottle, and there's no substitute for just.
Yeah, well, I use a paintbrush with it.
Yeah,
that's my trick. I use the paintbrush and the wax, and then you just paint it around the tire and a bit on the rim if you really want.
Going off topic a little bit, do you have a trick to getting them on when it's really difficult?
Well,
using wax.
I kind of So like you said, use the brush. I cut like a quarter off a dishwashing sponge, and I use that.
Oh, yeah.
And that works really good.
Yeah. Or just like a little handkerchief size of a rag or something, just chop it up.
Just whatever you do when you're about to bead the tyre, have your fingers clear of the bead.
You don't want to get fingers in there.
Yeah. And like having a high pressure air compressor, I've found does help if it's really struggling.
Yeah. Rather than use your portable one, take it to the servo or something with hot air.
Yeah.
You know what Lex does?
What?
He just throws the tire on the ground and it goes bang.
You've seen the videos of people like spraying deodorant and then using the match.
Yeah.
And like the flame will explode. It's scary.
Yeah. Nah, with my $1,000 MXC magnesium wheels, no thanks.
Yeah, not a go-kart tire, maybe if you're out bush or something.
Yeah.
I, for the longest time, this is before four-stroke guys started using the Maxxis white tires, which are by far the hardest tire I've ever experienced trying to put it on a bloody wheel. But I was trying to do it by hand, and then I finally got the tire tongs, and I was just like, oh my god, this is it's impossible without tire tongs. So tire tongs, I'm just going to say, underrated, even though everyone obviously uses them once they're experienced, I think, for the most part. But especially for four-stroke, tire tongs makes taking them on and off so much easier.
100%.
Even on the topic of wheels and round things, the Karting wheel nuts, which is a hex bit that goes in.
Yeah,
because you don't strip them. So the OTK
little copper ones
get rounded off because everything's soft.
Yeah.
Whereas the ones that you got in your go-kart and the ones that we put on go-karts when we have the opportunity to are the ones that you put a hex bit on, not the socket.
It's more the ones you can do by hand. The ones with the nailing where you don't need a tool to do it.
No, wheel nuts.
Oh, sorry.
But you're 100% correct as well.
Yeah, for both those things.
In bead locks, there's ones that you can use without
I got
tools.
those. Yeah, the bead locks. Yeah, that is so underrated. So you can get these. I don't think many people use these, but there's this Karting bead locks, so they go in the little air holes.
3 little M5 threads.
Yeah, and it's like it's thicker, so you can actually do it by hand, but it's also got a hex.
The 2-in-1 sort
well.
of thing. I think the beer rules come with those.
Yeah, you put it out so you don't over tighten them.
It's so much better.
It's still by hand. Yeah.
That's a
underrated product. Those little 30-cent O-rings. The amount of people that get flats because those O-rings die, and then you put a new set of tires on, and you don't change the O-rings, and then as you tighten it up, the O-ring just like grabs and rips a little bit, and you'll get a flat tire because of it.
Always have a spare couple of it's good to have in your collection spare wheel nuts, spare bead locks, and the O-rings.
Just ready to go.
Yeah. And I know I mentioned it in the last episode, but seriously, the Azito air inflator. It's like from Bunnings. It costs like $70. It is so good. Like if you need an air inflator, no, seriously, it is the best because like air inflators are expensive, but and then maybe it's just because Ozito's like this budget brand or whatever, but it's like the best. So if you're new and you need your kart tools, you need an air inflator. Honestly, I fully back the Ozito air inflator from Bunnings.
You see people, especially when they're new, fair enough, you're just getting into it, but people using hand pumps or bike pumps and that sort of stuff.
I've never seen that, but I would.
Yeah, I've seen people doing the hand pump, like the plunger style pump.
Yeah, right.
Or you see people wheeling the cart over to the compressor at the track, and you're just going back and forth all day.
And they got the ends of them are always destroyed because kids are playing with them.
Yeah,
sticking rocks
or
in
they're
and stuff.
leaking and it's massive pain in the butt. They're great compressors. A lot of the trucks have invested in good compressors, so you can pop your beads on with them, which you probably can't do with your Ozito. So they're still good to have, but you don't want to be going back and forth all day just to put half a pound in or whatever.
I've got one.
Yeah.
A quick mix to mix your 2-stroke oil.
Yep.
And a fuel transfer pump, an
Yep.
electric one, to get fuel from your jerry can to your tank, and from your tank
Back out.
back out.
Yeah.
Not
cool.
on the ground at your local racetrack,
Yeah.
because we don't do that, and we're not allowed to do that
Into your lawnmower.
into your lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Having a proper oil mixing measuring jug. I mean, in 4 strokes, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But you see people at the track using like the kitchen flour measuring cup, like 250 mils and like.
And you know what? Like, you see people do that, but then that gets thrown in the back of the trailer and it's all dusty.
Yeah.
And they're not cleaning them out, and you can't seal them. Whereas, like, we use the little Maxima quick mixers.
Yeah, with
Where,
a lid on it.
yeah, it's always clean. So there's
And
no
you can
contamination.
actually pour fuel in it to get the oil residue out of it, rather than just have like that little caked up bit of oil in the bottom of it. Massive pain in the ass. Well, the other underrated thing is a good tool set.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
segue to our next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think now it's time for Tool Talk with Jordi. So, yes, I mean, obviously there are a lot of tools that are out there, but I guess you've obviously got quite a passion for your tools. So, what do you think what have you found the most useful and like the must-have tools? Like,
yeah, I think a lot of the stuff that gets asked, or what I notice, what it comes down to is like kind of bang for your buck, or what's worth spending a bit more on and what's okay to get the budget stuff. You see a lot of people buying really cheap, like Amazon or Temu, like spanners and sockets and stuff, and it just doesn't hold up. So I think a good set of spanners in a go-kart, a good set of Allen key T-bars, particularly your 6 and 8 mils, if you're using 8 mil wheel nuts.
so like the Allen keys with the handles.
Yeah, so rather than just the L-shaped ones you get with your IKEA flat packs, getting a proper set of T-bars.
Yeah.
One that you've got enough purchase and enough leverage. So
Yeah.
not like that.
It's like those metal ones with the like.
Yeah, the sliding shaft on
sliding-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
Can I just
Yeah.
express my distaste for those?
I know why.
So a week before we went to Phillip Island,
Yeah.
I was with Harry filming at Oakley, and we were having to get a piece of camera gear off the go-kart.
I had to undo the bolt on his seat stay.
Yeah.
And we used a cheap tool which was a T-bar that had the slidey top.
Yeah.
And it's clearly not. It was a cheap tool.
Yeah.
And as I went like that, it snapped. The actual tool snapped,
Ugh.
and it went through my hand.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was spraying blood, and I was literally crying. And Harry's like being paid by the minute, and I'm like, we need to film. And my hand, I can't even get my hand in a glove.
Yeah.
It's so swelled and bloody and everything. So, but that's a cheap tool for you.
Yeah, 100%.
That'll happen if you cheap out on tools.
Yeah, poor man pays twice in a lot of those.
What tool? Do you know where you got that from? Just so people know not to buy that.
Your toolbox?
No,
I don't know. It wasn't mine.
It wasn't yours.
No.
Because it wasn't mine.
So I was
wasn't mine.
trained from a kid from my dad to like get good tools. So
Yeah, well, your dad was a fitter and turner by trade.
Yeah.
So he bangs on about like having the good shit, as he says.
good quality
So
stuff.
like I'll go in and purchase the individual T-bars as I need to slowly build up the
Yeah.
collection.
Like in a go kart, you want to 4mm for your grub screws. 5mm does a lot of your like seat belts and stuff like that. And there's plenty of 6mm around the axle, and then 8mm for your wheel nuts. So if you just get good versions of those 4, you don't need a 10 or anything like that. If you have an OTK, you need a 7 for the kingpin, which is a random one. Yeah, it's a weird one because none of the sets come with a 7mm Allen key, so you have to buy that yourself. But yeah, so Allen keys are definitely a big one, same as a good set of ratcheting spanners. If you cheap out on those, you're just gonna end up breaking them, or you can't get enough purchase on them, things like that. Can just end up giving yourself a lot of headaches.
What brands do you recommend?
I like King Chrome's what I've bought a lot of stuff from recently. They tend to be kind of in that mid price point range where you're not spending like snap on money like $1,000 just for 10 spanners, but you're not getting cheap nasty stuff. They still give you a lifetime warranty on a lot of things. Outside of that, it probably comes down to the tool. Like all your battery stuff, you can spend big money getting like Milwaukee, which are really good quality gear, but you spend a lot on it. A lot of my battery tools are Ryobi, so I've got the Ryobi 1/2-inch impact right angle drills.
I got the Zito.
Yeah, well, there's some stuff out there that kind of what I've picked up is when you borrow a tool more than 3 or 4 times, you obviously need to go buy it yourself.
Yeah.
And you kind of get a gauge on, by doing that, what you're using a lot, what you probably didn't need to buy in the first place. So if you're finding like I'm using these like sockets a lot, and the ones I've got are rounding out bolts, or I'm not getting good purchase on it or whatever, that's probably your cue to kind of have a look around, read some reviews, see what other people are using. Pretty much any tool you're going to buy, there's like 500 dudes in a shed somewhere, well, 500 videos from dudes in their sheds, reviewing them. Like you can get any information you want out there. So
What are like the top must-have tools for you for karting? Like you couldn't live without, other than the generic spanners and stuff.
Specific.
Yeah.
go-kart specific, snipers, obviously.
Yep.
If I was going to buy a toolbox from scratch just for go-karting, I would get socket Allen key bits. So I was just talking about buying a good set of T-bars. I get those, but also a set that goes on a 3/8 drive socket.
These get nerdy.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah.
So yeah, like your Allen key heads, but on a socket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you use a jet blower at all?
Not much in a go-kart.
Yeah.
You use that sort of stuff for like electrical work if you're soldering. And
I've got the Allen key sockets as well. They're super handy for doing the engine bolts on
engine mounts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Getting into if you've got the old wheel nuts that put the Allen key in, that's
8mm for
handy.
the Allen key.
What's your advice on using a gun on those compared to hand?
So I personally now I always tighten it with my what's it called, impact drill or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I always go over it by hand again, because I've had a loose wheel come up too many times, and now I just don't risk it. I just don't trust it.
Yeah.
Like I always, when I do my wheels, go through it with the gun, and then I tighten it by hand each one. Even though it takes longer, it's just worth knowing, my wheel's not going to fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really used impact stuff around go-karts. Maybe to take bolts out, like you can save yourself a bit of time taking wheel nuts out with the driver, but I've always been too scared of cross-threading the wheel nut, and I've never trusted getting the right tension. You're either over-tightening and you might crack the rim, or you're going to under-tighten and have it loose, and you're just going to have to get your Allen key out anyway to check it. So you save yourself 2 seconds by doing it up with the drill, but you're just going to have to walk to the toolbox to get the Allen key anyway. So
we do have a lot of customers that come through using a gun on everything, and they're just slowly destroying their go-kart.
Yeah.
What's getting destroyed specifically? Because I use a gun for nearly everything. Like
we're getting a lot of hubs.
Yeah.
That
Like
use studs put through, and
you're going to round out bolts, or you're going to over tighten stuff to cracks, or you're going to cross thread things, so your studs and your wheel nuts are going to get wrecked. Like I've seen people changing tires about to go down the grid, say it's raining or something, and they're in a rush, so they're using the gun on the front wheel, and you cross thread it, and you pretty much screwed up your whole stub axle. Like, it's just doesn't take a whole much more time to actually just do it by hand. Like, it's more than 5 seconds of it. It's not the end of the world. And but by using the impact, you risk stuffing it up, and that just pretty much a DNF because you've cross-threaded it and you can't get the wheel on.
What kind of tyre gauge is in Jordi's toolbox?
Good old Karting, big face. The XL Karting, all reliable. Don't need. I mean,
$75 special.
yeah. Some people love the $400 Prisma because it's also got a stopwatch built into it or whatever. It's like, yeah, whatever. Good old Karting.
What have you got?
Actually, my pressure gauge is like a bit of a makeshift one, but I've got I can't remember what the brand is. I think it's like X something. It's like a four-wheel drive
Oh yeah.
brand or something. But it was like I bought the gauge. It's a digital one, but it's 0.01 accurate or something.
Yeah.
And then I've put it on a like a air compressor handle thing, and I attached it to that. So then it's actually like really good to use. So I've got like a really accurate measurement.
Yeah.
And then it's like really easy to use on the air compressor handle.
So it's kind of like one less step. You've got your pump and your tyre gauge at the same time.
Yeah, well, like it's just easy because I can like tune it however I want really quick. But it's like I don't know. I also find the digital gauge just really easy to look at. And obviously, at the end of the day, if I'm just using that exact same gauge, then I just get used to using
It's the
that.
same variable.
Yeah, it's all
If
yeah.
you use like 8 different products amongst the pits, they're all going to read slightly different. So
Yeah.
if you always use your own stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's
Yeah.
2 psi out, you'll adapt and kind of adjust
Yeah.
what works best for you.
Yeah.
But it means if someone says, "Oh yeah, run 12," then
Well, it's
may
like
not
that
be
could mean
12 in
anything.
your
Yeah.
gauge. Yeah. So that's why it's always, be careful what you listen to because it may not work for you for that sort of reason.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. There any other tools on there? That's pretty much it.
Big hammer.
Big hammer.
Big hammer. Everyone needs a big hammer.
Well, the
BFH.
BFH?
Yeah.
BFH stands for?
The big fucking hammer.
Yeah.
When you're trying to bash an axle out, it makes a big difference compared to people like dinking a little carpenter's hammer.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
I remember the first time Jordi said, pass us the BFH. I had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah. For four stroke, the clutch is attached to. This is unrelated, by the way, to that. It's just another tool. But our clutch has the little C clip on it. So having C clip pliers comes in clutch for that.
The
Central pliers.
Yeah, the $400 SP Tools go-kart toolkit has that
Has
in
that,
it.
yeah.
And you don't realise till you need one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I use it once every 6
Yeah.
months.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, it's when you need it, you
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
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 But maybe we can do another episode of this down the track. They're the main things that come to mind about.
Jordi's like, please, can we do tool talk again?
Yeah. I think for the audience watching, if you've got a specific kind of like question around tools and karting tools that you think would be good for us to answer for you, just let us know in the comments because we'll definitely talk more about it if that's something you guys are interested in. Obviously, I still consider myself someone who was relatively fresh to karting, even though this is my 3rd year now doing like entry level competition
crazy.
karting. But
bet
yeah,
we-
it has flown.
I remember your first race weekend under the tent. It feels like
Yeah.
6 months ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so for those who are starting karting, like a huge question would be, should I start with 4-stroke or should I, go with 2-stroke? What should someone starting karting actually be looking at choosing? Like, how do they decide?
I'm going to go really niche here. And I'm going to talk about an incredibly small sub-audience.
I wonder if we can. There's thunder right now.
Yeah.
In Melbourne, there's rain, so
Big storm.
Very ominous, I don't
that's
know.
right. Yeah.
Okay, I've got a very small sub community, and trust me, those are going to be sitting there behind their laptop watching this going, that's me. Now, you've got the dad and lad that comes in and wants to get into go-karting. The kid, 6, 7, 8 years old, they have to go into 2-stroke. There's no choice, right? But the dad is always like, I've always wanted to become a racing driver. I want a 2-stroke. If you're buying 2 go-karts and you're a dad getting your kid into a 2-stroke, you're going to be in a 4-stroke every day. we have people that come in and go, I want a two-stroke, I want a two-stroke. And you'd be like, trust me, you're going to trade this in a month's time.
Yeah.
And how many times does the dad come back and go, two-stroke was too hard, need a four-stroke because I'm going to spend more time with my kid. I need to spend more time.
Right. So it's a matter of they just don't have time, and obviously there's so much that you have to do.
Yeah.
So much to account for with two-stroke that there's no way in hell, especially if you've got a kid that's racing two-stroke.
Yeah,
that
well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people underestimate when they first get into the sport how intense it is, like, or how much work is required on any given race weekend.
Right.
So the dad thinks, oh, we'll buy 2 go-karts and we'll go race together. It'll be good fun. And then first day at the track, they're like, we have to mix fuel and do pressures, and I don't know how to do this. The thing won't start. Why won't it start? And now I have to do it for my car, but I only just got my kid out there, and I have to go out with a high vis to go watch him on the track and then come in. And then I don't want to leave him stand by himself over there when I go out, so I might just do one session. And it just becomes too hard too quick. You see it all the time.
We'll be talking people out of two-strokes quite a lot when their kids are getting into it. Like, mate,
Yeah.
you need to be in a four-stroke. Like,
Yeah.
just take our word for it.
Yeah.
And these people are fresh to karting, never.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dad and lads, every day of the week, Dad, you're in a four-stroke.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If you want to both have a go, just start with a 4-stroke at least. Just start like that. And if you think you can manage 2 of these 2-strokes like your kids, then go for it. But
Right.
I think for the most part, then you're looking at a much wider audience then. If you come from a mechanical background, you come from motorcycles or something like that, and you like fiddling with go-karts and stuff, with the mechanical side of things, and you want to be really hands-on, go two-stroke. If you want the world's fastest thing, two-stroke.
yeah.
If you want to get into it on a bit of a budget, hey, I just want to dip my toe in,
Yeah. Just do
four-stroke.
it here and there. Yeah.
Four-stroke.
Yeah, okay. So I think it's almost like, especially if you're a dad and you've got your kid who is going to be taking karting seriously, and you want to really see how you go, I suppose it's, obviously the kid will do two-stroke. The dad, if he's new to it and he wants to try it, then definitely four-stroke.
Yeah.
But then maybe even just focus on the kid
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well. Like,
Yeah,
if
give it
that's
6
what's-
months, then buy
what
another
it's
one.
going. Yeah.
Give it 6 months and you won't want your go-kart. Like,
Yeah,
and
you'll be
unless
like,
you're
you're
like-
so knackered after a day of the track with your kid, you'll be like, I couldn't do that myself.
Yeah. So unless you're like a absolute wizard, then four-stroke. But
I guess that's just like one niche though. If you're looking at
yeah,
other people getting into the sport, people maybe our age, first time in a kart, a lot of the 2-stroke versus 4-stroke conversation comes down to probably primarily budget. That comes down to a big factor in which way you're going to go. If you're maybe at uni working part-time, or you haven't got that much extra cash, 4-stroke's probably the smarter idea.
enjoys rental karts.
Yeah.
I just want to have a little bit of extra challenge, bit
Yeah.
of fun. Four-stroke.
yeah,
Yeah, it's what a lot of people getting into 4-strokes. That's where they've come from. They've, done the league racing at the rental karts, or a lot of sim racing. A lot of them. So they want to make that step. Want to go quicker than the rental karts. Have something that's their own. Have an input in the setup that you don't get in the rental karts. So the 4-stroke's a good first step for that.
yeah.
If you've got the budget for 2-stroke and you're willing to invest the time and money, then that's plenty of people start that way until 7 or 8 years ago. That's the only place you could really start.
Yeah, because like for me, like I was that person who, I was talking about karting with my brother and my dad, and we, just wanted to be able to race competitively and have our own kart and race. And
Yeah.
and our biggest concern about 4-stroke was obviously because we didn't understand anything about it. We just were worried that it would be too slow, or like similar to higher karting. But as soon as we got our first kart and went out and practiced with it, we were like, wow, this is unbelievable. Like, this is exactly what we were after. And
Yeah.
I think like that's 4-stroke is very much for like the people I think who want to be able to race and just have fun, like race for fun. And I also think 4-stroke is really gaining a lot of traction, and there's a lot of fun to be had with the fields that we're now.
And the
Saying,
fact that
like-
it's close racing too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it's like it's fair. It's not. It's like it's competitive, but there's no like everyone's mates, everyone's friends. I think And the other thing is, it's like if you're, whether you're a younger bloke or an older bloke, if you actually just want that hobby, like you want something you can do as a hobby
Yeah.
with make some friends, like 4-stroke all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could sit in the garage for 6
Yeah.
months and it wouldn't matter as much as a 2-stroke.
exactly. Yeah, it's like
No
just the
rebuilds.
right amount of like mechanical, what do you call it? Like, there's a bit of mechanical stuff involved,
How
but not too
technical
much.
it is.
Yeah,
It's not as technical as the 2-stroke side of it.
yeah,
If you want a career in motorsport and you go as supercars or Formula One, you
Yeah.
have to do 2-stroke.
Two-stroke, yeah.
And you have to, and you got to kind of earn your stripes in that too.
Yeah.
You got to do your time. You don't move out of 2-strokes too quick. So you don't move out of go-karts too fast either.
Yeah.
You see a lot of kids move out of it too quick.
Yeah.
But you have to do 2-stroke. You have to go through the steps.
yes,
You're racing against a really high level of competitor, at a national stage.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between 2-stroke and 4-stroke for a certain bunch, and I sound like I'm going to make a very big generalization here, but you get the accountant and lawyer walks in, accountant slash lawyer,
Yeah.
don't want to fiddle, just want to drive.
Yeah.
Now, it's 4-stroke or it's 2-stroke, but they justify paying a mechanic or a coach to be with them the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's the happy medium
Yeah.
if they want to do 2-stroke.
Yeah. Yeah. If you got the cash there, but you don't want to touch the cart, then sure, pay someone to, maintain the cart every time you go out. But that's very few and far between the people that are
Oh.
justifying that cost.
I say accountants and lawyers because I said this recently to somebody and he'll know exactly who he is. I'm not going to say his name. And I said, it's the accountants and lawyers that come in and don't want to fiddle with stuff. And he goes, I'm an accountant and a lawyer. He's got a professional services firm and he's like, I'm both actually.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to fiddle. But we have services that we look after that type of person
Yeah.
that doesn't want to fiddle.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that old 4-stroke.
Yeah. That's your answer.
Yeah. If there's anything we missed, any question you have about that, guys, just write it down in the comments. And we'll try to get back to every single one. But I think that is everything we have time for to talk about today. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we hope you have an incredible morning or afternoon, depending on what time you watch this. But we'll see you on the next one. And until then, cheers, guys. Thank you.